This is an introduction on the algebra section on subject manipulation. So we need to understand what is this whole thing all about. So there is something called a subject of a formula. So usually the subject of a formula is a single term. It's like the main character. So when we say something as a subject, so the subject is a single term that appears on the left-hand side. So for example, this formula, I'm sure you find this formula a bit familiar. So this is the area formula. So this is the subject. So the area is the subject. So it's the main thing that we are concerned with. And the subject depends on R. Which is the radius. So this is like a formula. That's why they say that generally a formula will show you how the area and the radius is being, so in this case, it shows you how area is being related to the radius. So in this case, A is the subject. So it's like the main character. So this is also another formula. So this is the circumference formula. So if you look at the left side, this is the subject. The subject is like your main concern. So here my main concern is like the circumference. And it is also dependent on the radius. So we are going to do some manipulation to change the subject. So there is one big idea that you need to understand. So the phrasing will be something like make X the subject or make Y the subject. So that will be the general phrasing. So whenever you have phrasing like this, right? So for example, make X the subject. So you got to understand. That means the X should be on the left side. So it must solely be on the left side. And on the right side, you shouldn't find any X. So you shouldn't find any X on the right side. Because, right, the subject must be found on the left side. So you must ensure that there is no X on the right side. So this is one of the things that students don't ensure. So they got X on the left, they got X on the right. So everything will go wrong. So if we need to manipulate, so what kind of manipulation will we involve? We will involve a lot of algebra technique. So there will be a lot of technique involved. I can list you a few basic technique first. So one of the most basic can be cross multiply. So it can be cross multiply. It can be as simple as just bring over, or it can be as simple as divide over, or it can be a bit more difficult where it involves take out common factor. So that is your factorization. So when we do subject manipulation, right, you want to reshuffle in such a way that your subject happens to be on the left. And then on the right side, you shouldn't find your main subject already. So the manipulation involves a lot of algebra technique. So some of the common one will be cross multiply, bring over, divide over, take out common factor.